day for the Redneck Garage. Well, if you watched the last video, you saw how I did a Carfax. I found a Jeep with low miles on it. Today's the day we're going to take a look at the JK and see what's good, what's bad, and what I'm going to either upgrade, replace, or ignore. Overall, the Jeep's in really good shape as far as like mechanically goes. 60,000 miles verified through Carfax and yearly inspections, so I was really tickled about that. I found out the girl that owned the Jeep lived in DC, Virginia, and it also could determine that the girl never fixed anything as far as like body work or anything like that. She did do maintenance on it because I do have records of that. 2008, it was in a front end collision as reported to the insurance company, and you can see right here on this bumper cover that it's kind of janked up here. You can see that that's kind of crushed in. This fender flare is loose and the front ender fender is bent to crap. This is cracked and broken, right? Headlights got kind of a funky junky on them. They look like they're factory. This one still has the grind on it here. She's rubbed up against a wall or something. But overall, pretty nice shape. Both sides here. This is actually part of the fender. This piece is the part of this fender piece here. You can see that they've allowed the mirrors to hit right here. And how does that happen? Well, if you don't replace your straps when they break, then the door can actually go all the way back and the fender hit that spot. And both sides are that way. So they, you know, a $10 piece of nylon would have prevented that from happening, and yet they didn't fix that. It's got a brand new rough country top, like right out of the box, with the tinted windows. That's really nice. That'll make Mitch happy from Rough Country that we're sporting a new rough country top on it. The back looks pretty good. This the bumper cover got a little bit of discoloration, but not bad. Lights are in good shape. This wheel is just gross. I don't know what it is. Looks like maybe you know how you let your brakes go too long and that metal gets into the wheel? That's what it looks like kind of on that. This has got some scrapes on the fender flare. It's got a couple little dings. You can see where they whacked this fender with this mirror also. They have a kit that you can move this mirror forward, I believe. The tires are in pretty decent shape. Interior, right? It's got this Tuffy box that the lock broke. I've been trying to get it open. I haven't got it yet. This is going away. It's a big janky piece of crap looking junk. The seats, perfect condition. Wheel cover. I've got a cover to go over it. I got to figure out what to do with that. Everything else in it looks pretty decent. Either coat it with bed liner or get a bed rug or something and just clean it up a little bit on the inside, but for the most part the Jeep is in great shape. Something happened to the mirror where it delaminated. Get a new mirror on it. Other than that, the Jeep's in great shape. So you may think that that's all we have to look at is the exterior, the paint, the body, but we haven't looked underneath the undercarriage, and that's a very important aspect of Jeeps that you need to fix or take care of before it gets bad. When I was looking at the Jeep, I noticed that it had some surface rust. You can see right here, there on the weld frames, and actually this pan has got some pretty good amount of rust in it here. I'm probably going to take it off and take a look at it. Definitely need to flesh out the frame really well, treat it with the ESID internal frame encapsulator, and then paint the outside of it to keep any other rust once we cleaned it off from damaging the frame, and see what we need to do about that pan. I think there's some bolts out of this pan up front, so I don't know if they replaced a fuel pump or had a fuel sending unit or what was going on. It looks like they had some penetrating oil here, but this pan needs to be taken off and either welded up, making sure it's okay, or get a new one. You can see in the back there that there's some rust underneath it too, right in here. So other than that, the frame actually looks like it's in decent shape, so I'm not too worried about that, especially once we treat it. Right, so the Jeep is in really good shape, but as in anything, you don't want to let it go too long without treating it. So I'll be treating it, flushing it out, doing some rust preventative. That'll be some cool videos. If you've got a Jeep, take care of it now before it gets really bad, because if your frame gets rusted out, you don't really have much except for some sheet metal. So this Jeep is just stock. There's nothing that's out of the norm of the Jeep. It came right off the factory looking like this. We're going to do some modifications to it. Minor, but really super cool as far as like the way it's going to look. Front bumper, rear bumper. I want to look at getting a 3.5 inch lift from Rough Country. I've had really good luck with the Rough Country lifts, no problems whatsoever. So that's what I'm going to be putting on this, which will also make it easier to get to the top of the frame and to portions of the frame that are a little bit hard to get to because the body sits down on there. So hopefully that will help in a couple different ways. Wheels and tires. I bought some new wheels off of a Gladiator, a 2020. Let's take a look at those. Got these tires and wheels from a local guy for about 250 bucks for all four, which isn't bad. I do like the wheels better than the other ones that are on it. It's got a little Jeep logo. How cute is that? The tires, these are the stock tires that came on it. They're like brand new, so hopefully what I'll end up doing is taking these tires off, selling them on Craigslist or something, and just reusing the wheels. But for 250 bucks, you can't really go wrong. This is some of the parts that I ordered. This is a bumper for the front. That's, I think, an interior console. I got a bunch more junk coming to replace. Got a new skin coming for the front. I got all new fender flares. Painting on this will not be so bad because it's black. Black is black is black is black. So you don't really have to worry about pearls or metallics or anything like that. If you're just using a black paint, it's going to match. So I'm not sure how deep we'll get into it or how much I will paint. But if I want to paint just a front fender, then we're in good shape. These stickers suck right here. Let me tell you that. You can see that it's got like a graduated thing here. Black with silver. I think that's clear. So it shows the color underneath. These two stickers, the Wrangler and the X, are $70. 70 bucks. $70 for this and this. And Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, it's something else. I can't even remember the name. It's not even FCA anymore. They're making 70 bucks on those two things. So maybe they need to quit building Jeeps and go into the sticker business. You can see they had a front license plate on it. This is all jank. I got new covers coming for it. This inner fender is all bent to heck from that wreck. So I bought a new inner fender. I got a new front fascia. Got new headlights that are KC, which are really super cool. I like those. So all this will be replaced. That'll fix that up right there. That'll look good. I've got all new fender flares coming. Each one of them has something wrong with it. This one's been crunched. That one's scraped up, and the other side's scraped up too. You can see I don't know how she did that. But anyway, I have all new ones of that and a rear bumper cover, and I'm going to look at getting some kind of treatment for that rear bumper that matches the front one. This tire's flat as it can be. I'll take one of these wheels off of this and stick it on the back, put a cover over it, and we'll be done with that. Awesome. It runs really well. I put it in four-wheel drive and that worked fine. It does have a check engine light on, and I've got a low tire pressure, so I got to look at that, see what's causing the check engine light. It wasn't on there the whole time, but now it's come on, so crap, we got to deal with that. But the interior, as far as like maybe bed liner or a bed rug or something like that, there's not a lot that I need to do to the interior. It's in pretty nice shape. The engine's pretty clean, but I'll go ahead and detail the engine bay, put some degreaser in it, spray it down with a pressure washer, and let it rip, tater chip. Needs a new battery. That battery's had way better days, I can tell you that. I'll let that sit about 30 minutes and then we'll pressure wash the crap out of it. It should look a lot better. Get all the grease and grime and junk out of it. The Virginia DC swamp water. Well, it looks pretty clean. I'll let it dry off and we'll be done for the day. I thought this was kind of weird. I'm guessing that this might be from salt, right, that got up in here. and just couldn't get out because of the lips on here, and it ate the paint off. It looks like it's zinc coated. What's your thoughts on it? Okay, I'm done for the day. It's starting to get cold, the sun's going down, so we're finished. I'm gonna let this dry out, put some seafoam in the gas tank, and call it a day. I'm super stoked about this Jeep. It drives really, really nice, super low miles. Aesthetically, she didn't fix anything, so that's up to me to fix, but I think it's gonna look really, really nice when we're done with it. So keep watching. Any questions, comments, suggestions, put them down below. I know that the TJs were the last real Jeep, so okay, got it. I appreciate you being a subscriber. Just keep watching. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.